Popularity. Who is it that decides what's popular and who's popular? Is it the cheerleaders, the football players, the dancers, the singers, the artists? I mean, if you think about it, when we hear the term popularity, it's rarely referred to in terms of Christianity. I mean, unless you're some famous Christian artist or something along those lines. Why do we let other people's opinions determine what's popular and what's not? It's just someone's opinion. That's all popularity is. And honestly, popularity in someone's opinion changes every single day. Look with me at Genesis chapter 1, verse 27. It says here, "So God created human beings in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them." It goes on to say in the book of Psalms, chapter 139 and verse 14, "I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well." If God created me, his works are wonderful. I'm one of his works. That's what's popular. I mean, I would rather take God's word, which I know is going to be the same today and tomorrow and never change, rather someone's opinion on what's popular that changes every single day. Okay, so how does this help me, you're thinking, right? Well, what I can tell you is that the things that were popular when I was in middle school, high school, or honestly even college, they're not popular anymore. And they really didn't matter nearly as much as I thought they did. What I can also tell you is that the Bible, when it says that I am fearfully and wonderfully made and I have an amazing plan and purpose, that was the same when I was in middle school, high school, and college, and it's also the same now. If you look back through the Bible, some of the people that made the biggest difference, honestly, they weren't always popular. Let's look at Moses. He was trying to help lead the Israelites out of Egypt, a land that they lived in misery, yet the Israelites griped and complained and thought that Moses was a terrible leader. What about Joseph? I mean, his brothers sold him into slavery. How about David? He was just supposed to watch the sheep, right? What about Paul? You know, the guy responsible for writing tons of the New Testament and helping millions and millions of us learn about God and our relationship with him? He was thrown into jail. And let's not forget Jesus. He was crucified. I mean, unfortunately, God didn't create us to be popular. He created us to make him known throughout the world, no matter what the cost. There's three things here I want to talk to you about popularity. The first thing is that because we've already stated it's someone's opinion, it constantly changes. Even the people that we just mentioned in the Bible, they were at some point popular, and then another point in their life, they weren't popular anymore. Look at Joseph. You know, the guy whose brothers sold him into slavery? Years later, he was second in command in Egypt. It's like the vice president of Egypt. And the same brothers that sold him into slavery, they needed him. They had to come to him because he had the food that they needed. I mean, if you look at the singers and the artists of the day, I can remember the posters that I had in middle school and high school hanging all over my bedroom walls of my favorite groups and my favorite bands. I mean, they're not popular anymore. Why? Because what's popular, in somebody's opinion, changed. Can you imagine being a singer or being an artist and your whole life dependent on whether or not they think that you're popular or not? I mean, you're popular and you have all of these fans one day, and the next day you wake up and all of a sudden you see yourself on the news and people are making fun of you because, well, you're not cool anymore. I mean, it's no wonder why so many of these people end up in rehabs for drugs and alcohol. That's no way to live, chasing what's popular. We have to find our identity in something that remains the same, something that's constant and something that never, ever, ever will change. The second point that I want to let you know is that popularity, kind of like sin, it might look really fun and good at the beginning, but it's possible that it can take you down a path that you really didn't intend to go. I mean, do you guys think that when your favorite singers or artists or the people that I used to like signed their first record deal, they thought that 5 or 10 years later, they would be in a rehab or maybe the laughingstock of the news? I really don't think so. The third thing, and I really want to make sure you hear this, is that popularity itself, it's not a negative thing. Chasing popularity and finding your identity in what's popular, that can be a negative thing. If we're constantly chasing something that changes every single day, we're going to miss out on the very best that God has for us. He has so many wonderful plans for you. And you know what? Those plans might not be you fitting in and being the most popular and cool kid at school, unfortunately. If I can just be real with you guys, I mean, there's been times when my friends might have made fun of me because I chose to follow God instead of doing what everybody else thought at that time was popular. Now, If we live our lives chasing after that next cool, impossible, and fun thing, then we're just gonna miss out on so much of this great life. I wanna encourage you guys not to miss out on a second of it. Don't chase something that changes every day. You're gonna get exhausted trying to fit in and trying to be cool, and I promise you, years down the road, you're gonna look back at pictures and think about things that you did and be like, why in the world did I even do that? It's not gonna matter, and it doesn't matter nearly as much as it may seem to right now. What God has created you to do, what He has given you your specific beauty and set of gifts and talents for, is what He needs for you to do. It's gonna be so much better and so much more exciting than anything that is ever popular in this day.